Hey folks, Quill18 here, bringing you another audio commentary for League of Legends, and I know everyone's been freaking out that I haven't been making as many videos the last week or two, and I apologize for that, but it's summertime, we're doing a lot of family stuff, going out to the cottage a whole bunch, plus played a little more Dwarf Fortress on the side, keeping me busy. StarCraft 2 just came out, so I've been playing a little bit of that. I don't know if I'm going to make any videos for StarCraft 2, I haven't really decided yet, but frankly, if you want really good StarCraft 2 videos, just watch, Husky StarCraft and HD StarCraft, and they're gods among men. So there's no reason me doing it. But so anyway, my sort of infrequent updates for League of Legends may continue. We will see what happens during August. I know there's a few other weekends where I'm going to be gone, and I do like to do a lot of my video recording on weekends. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm doing one now, and what is this? This is a third-person commentary sent in to me by Smackhoe, someone I've played with before. Very, very good, very fun player. If you see him online, say hi, because he's a great guy. And he sent me this video as Kassadin, and he did it because he knows that Kassadin is the sort of hero I do not personally like to play. So it'll be really nice to have someone else do this for me. Really appreciate that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna pull up his sheet here, so that I can. Where is it here? So I can have his abilities in front of me, because I have never played Kassadin, so this is gonna be really fun to watch. I am hopefully gonna learn a whole bunch. So Smackhoe here has picked up the Doran's Ring to start off with. Kassadin is a caster ganker type champion, so he deals a lot of damage very quickly. He's good at killing people, sniping people, assassinating people from out of the bushes. He will kill solo champs very, very well. But he does it as a caster, but like most casters, he sort of, to me, I get the impression that he deals his damage very quickly. It's less nukey, and he's got more short cooldown abilities, and obviously a lot of mobility. So, going down his abilities very quick, first we've got the Null Sphere, which is the ability that he's picked up here. Actually, he just launched one there. You can see it go. This is the ability that everyone's probably pretty familiar with. It is a ranged attack that deals a flat amount of damage and silences people for a certain amount of time. It's on a short 9-second cooldown, so it's castable very quickly. There's another one there. Very, very useful for harassing people with. The mana cost only starts off at 70, which if you've got any kind of mana regen, you're going to be able to keep that up pretty easily. Starting with the Doran's Ring like this gives you the ability to cast it fairly often, so excellent pick there. He may have some runes or masteries to help him out as well. The second ability is his Nether Blades, which are his physical attacks deal a percentage of his target's mana, and he gains twice the mana drained from these attacks. So when he is actually fighting someone and meleeing someone, he gets mana back from that. That ability is passive. However, it's also got an active, which charges his blade and gives him armor penetration for a few seconds. Now, I don't know anything about Kassadin, but I'm willing to bet this is not a major ability for him. I've already seen here that Smackhoe has used his second ability went into his E. I'm willing to bet that it's not going to be a big priority for him to level that up. We'll see what happens there. He's getting off another Null Sphere here. Very nice. Lots of harass going on. And you can see the mana stays up pretty high. I guess now that I think about it, the Nether Blade says it steals a percentage in one description, but the other one says it's a flat hit, like 4 mana per hit. So it could help you in the laning phase, I suppose, to keep your mana up. I don't know. So his final basic ability, his E ability, is his Force Pulse, which says it draws energy from spells cast in his vicinity. Upon charging up, Kassadin can use Force Pulse to damage and slow enemies in the cone in front of him. Yes. So every time a spell is cast near him, he'll get a charge on this, and when it's fully charged, he's going to be able to unleash a cone attack that slows people and does a lot of damage. And this, I've seen Kassadin use this all the time for ganking. He'll get in close to you, blow out this ability, and then you are slowed for a whole 3 seconds. It's actually a pretty considerable slow, which is going to be more than enough for him to finish the gank, especially considering he's got his teleport as his ultimate, and we'll talk about that once Smackhoe gets to level 6 here. So, Summoner Spells, looks like he's picked up Ignite and Teleport. And the Ignite is certainly going to help him gank a little bit more. The Teleport's an interesting choice. We'll see what he makes as a boot choice here. I'm guessing that Sorcerer's Shoes is probably popular on Kassadin, and the fact that he went Teleport leads me to believe he won't be going for a higher mobility boot, considering that his ultimate is a very short cooldown flash type ability. I can definitely see why you wouldn't want Boots of Swiftness or Boots of Mobility on Kassadin. And yeah, so Smackhoe here seems to be dancing back and forth, trying to get off his Q ability whenever, maybe whenever he can, or at least whenever he's at full mana. And so Teemo, who he's partnering with, apparently likes to get his. What am I saying here? Sort of losing my train of thought. He likes to use his passive, which allows him to stealth if he is immobile for a little while, and he uses that to do a little bit of an ambush. Now, I haven't been paying attention exactly to when he sets it up, but it's kind of interesting because, I mean, I'm not used to seeing a Teemo use it like this in a laning phase, so I'm wondering if he is using the passive, using his stealth whenever he thinks the people aren't watching so they won't know where he is, or if he doesn't care and hope that they're just stupid enough to walk into it. But he is able to get a little bit of harass off on the Rammus there, so that's interesting. Yeah, there he goes invisible again. Huh. Now, as I recall, here's the cone attack. Nice damage on Rammus, and then a follow-up poison by Teemo, and I think Rammus is going to be forced to teleport away here. He's definitely going to be too low to stay in the lane, because there's a combination of range damage here that he's really going to have a hard time countering, unless he's tower hugging. Now, right now it's okay, because I think Rammus will still get some XP here, but, if any of the fighting gets pushed away from the tower, he's not going to be able to participate in any way. And I gotta think, for Rammus' sake, now he's getting his health back pretty quick, so maybe he used a potion, or maybe he's got some regen. Now here's Teemo, you're gonna see he's stealthed again, and my question is, does Jax know that he's there? Looks like Teemo's darted forward just enough to get off a poison anyway, and I think Jax just used his cleanse to get rid of the poison, which seems like a bit of a waste of a cleanse right there. I mean, he should have just absorbed the damage and saved his cleanse for something else. We'll see. Oh, there's another Null Sphere, doing some really nice damage. It's possible that I misinterpreted the cleanse for Jax's Counter-Strike bubble, but it really did look like a cleanse effect. Now, Rammus is gone at this point. I suspect that maybe he has decided to go home. At a certain point, you've got to think that you can't really contribute much. You're better off going home and healing so you can come back fully healed. Okay, Rammus is back. He's only level 4, but he's fully healed. So I got to think that he's gone home. He just hit level 5 now. I got to think that Rammus went home and maybe teleported back. It looks like Kassadin's still trying to get off his Null Spheres, harassing Jax as much as possible. And Teemo's gone back to doing his stealth trick. Now, let me just look up Teemo. I haven't really played him much at all, and that passive change is still kind of recent in my mind. And so, what's the buff? It gives him a attack speed buff for 3 seconds after he comes out of stealth. So I'm not sure how much of an advantage he's going to take advantage of that. Simply because he seems to get off one shot. Ooh, that Rammus certainly pressed forward quite a bit. I'm a little confused as to why he thought that was a good idea, but he didn't get hit, so I guess it worked out okay. So yeah, I don't think Teemo's getting to take advantage of the attack speed too much, but whoa, very dangerous there with Jaina. If Ashe had a stunning arrow there, she'd be in big trouble, even a slow of any kind. Oh, it looks like that Rammus is going to walk into range of Teemo again. They've got to know that he's there. He's doing this all the time. But yeah, he just darts forward. Oh! And Kassadin's got his ultimate there. He takes advantage of the surprise of blinking through the wall to get off another shot. He didn't do a ton, but it's possible that they were trying to bait him with Teemo there. And if they'd advanced forward, Kassadin would have been able to load his full attack. So now Kassadin's level 6. He's got his ultimate, which is Riftwalk. And whereas most ultimates are long cooldown abilities that you use very little, Riftwalk is actually very, very short cooldown. It starts at 6 seconds and goes down to as low as 4 seconds once you get to the 3rd rank. It allows him to teleport forward, as in a flash. It does damage in an AoE. And it costs 100 mana, which is actually fairly considerable if you're going to spam it. But even worse than that, if you do spam it, because the cooldown is so short, the mana cost goes up and up and up, but every time you use it, the damage goes up. So as every time you use a Riftwalk within 7 seconds, it basically doubles the amount of damage that it's going to do as an AoE, but it increases the mana cost by 100. So it'll cost 100 first time, 200, 300, 400, and so on. But by that fourth one, it would be doing like over 500 damage as a base, let's say at the third rank, plus whatever ability power you might have. So it does open up to be quite a nuke. And it does mean that if you really need it, you can just blink repeatedly to get away from the fight or to get to the fight. It's very hard to kill Kassadin, I've found. He can slow you, and then he can just start blinking like crazy. And that's often these sort of ganker assassin type characters. Like, compare it to Smackhoe. That's what makes them so powerful and versatile, is not just the fact that they can gank you sort of at will. Oh, he blinks in, goes after Rammus. Nice tower dive there. In fact, if Jax keeps coming after him, now he's kind of low at this point. He's just going to blink through the wall, get away. Look at that. So he's able to just tower dive, because he's able to get in there so goddamn quick and just burn through Rammus. And that's the problem with Kassadin, is if you are low around Kassadin, he's almost certainly going to be able to turn that into a kill. Looks like he's picked up his boots 1, and then he's going to pick up some AP to improve that. And what else? A ruby crystal. So is he going to turn that into, what is it called, a haunting guise? An extra health potion. And that's it. He's actually got over 600 gold left, but he's saving it up for something. And I'm very curious to see what. Oh, Jaina's in a little bit of trouble here because she keeps getting slowed. She did blow her ult to try to knock back Ashe, but it didn't quite work out. That being said, ooh, nice gank here. That is the power of the teleport. Kassadin teleports in using his summoner spell, and then he's able to blink onto Ashe, and I'm surprised he didn't turn that into a kill. Maybe he could have used a second blink to drop on her again. I don't know. It may have been too risky. We don't know what the status of Ashe's ultimate is, although it almost certainly would have been used to kill. Oh, there's another flash forward, followed by Null Sphere, and if Ashe is not careful, she's going to get flashed on again. I guess at this point, the 6-second cooldown is long enough that he's not really able to spam it infinitely. There we go. Ashe definitely dead. Blinks in, does his AoE cone attack. Oh, now he did take a couple of tower hits. If Jax is able to get within range here and pounce on him, he's going to be in big trouble because he's out of mana for his Riftwalk. No, he's just got just enough mana and gets the hell out of there. Another brilliant escape. And I think that exactly is the strength of Kassadin right there. Take advantage of someone that's been weakened. Get in the gank, get in the kill. I'm using gank as an all-purpose, kill thing, but the origin of gank is actually to say like a gang kill, a group kill type thing. And so these assassinations are not really ganks, but I'm going to keep using it that way. I hope no one minds, just because that's sort of become the accepted term for a kill in this game. Anyway, I do like that combo. Teleporting in, then flashing forward with your ultimate. Very cool. And the thing with Kassadin is, and I guess every hero is like this, but if you do allow him to get fed, he becomes extremely dangerous. But compared against something like a Jax or a Master Yi, you don't have to feed these guys early on for them to become a threat later on. If you're just allowed to, say, farm up their gold and get their strong items, that's it. In fact, they tend to be late-game heroes more than anything else. They're very item-dependent. And Kassadin, if he's denied early, if he's not able to get those kills early on, I find that he's just a little bit squishy and weak, and he tends to get taken out pretty quickly in group fights. But see, if you're letting him get off these assassinations early on, where it's his strongest. He's not very strong in group fights, I feel, but if he can catch people alone, which at the beginning of the game everyone is, then he can really wreak a lot of damage. And so the real key is to shut him down during the sort of laning phase. And because he's not really a great farmer of mobs, he really needs to get kills to be strong. So as long as you're not letting him take advantage, mostly at level 6, be wary, don't let him Riftwalk onto you and finish you off, and that will probably shut down a Kassadin in my experience. I don't find Kassadin to be a really, really strong hero because he's kind of dependent on the cards he's dealt by his opponents. But in this case, things seem to be going pretty well. A couple of kills, that's pretty nice. Now, we haven't been